Welcome to Prince Edward County. What can I get for you?
My name is Agent Lavoie, RCMP, Special Paranormal Unit, and I'll be asking the questions.
Yeah, go right ahead.
I'm investigating some strange things happening in the area. Out-of-control sand dunes that ate an entire town, a ship graveyard.
Ship graveyard?
Where ships have disappeared before people's eyes. A monster that lives at the bottom of a lake on top of a mountain.
Mountain? Bottomless?
Buried treasure.
I wish. I mean, it's quite the imagination you have there.
And I hear you have the best fries in town.
You got that right.
Now let's start at the beginning.
Today on CGK Kids, we're gonna look for a monster that lives in a lake that sits on top of a mountain.
And we'll be checking out the world's largest freshwater sand dunes. Are they creeping up on you?
And explore the largest ship graveyard in Ontario.
All in the weird and wonderful place called Prince Edward County, Ontario.
Geographic Kids.
How are we supposed to do a show about Prince Edward County when we can't even find the place?
And who gave us this map? It doesn't make any sense.
Oh, please tell me you found a three-headed baby monster.
Three-headed baby monster? Eldon, we're still trying to find the location. According to your map, we're headed straight for Lake Ontario.
Oh, you don't know how to read maps.
Eldon, you do realize that the blue portions of the map represent water?
Really? No, I knew that, okay? I knew that. Now get me that Prince Edward Island place.
Prince Edward County.
Okay, Prince Edward Island County place. Find a bridge. Swim, I don't care how you get there. Just scoop me a great story. You got that? Okay? We need ratings. And the kids these days, they want to hear about creepy, paranormal, three-headed monster stuff, okay? Got it? Okay. Love you, baby.
CGK.
Prince Edward County is surrounded by water. Lake Ontario, the Bay of Quinte, and the Adolphus Reach. The county was only connected to the mainland by a narrow stretch of land at Carrying Place. Then, in 1889, the Murray Canal was built, completely cutting off Prince Edward County from the mainland and making it an island.
Oh, so it really is an island. But how are we supposed to get there?
Problem solved.
Lake Voyage. This is the only way to travel.
Hey, aren't you gonna help me row? As in, grab your oar and start rowing.
When I said, a lake voyage, this is not what I had in mind.
Dig in there, dig! Get your backs into it! Lazy, scurvy dogs!
Isn't this great? We're traveling the same route in a replica boat the United Empire Loyalists used in 1784.
I wonder whether they thought they were taking a cruise.
CGK.
Pete, who were the United Empire Loyalists?
That's an excellent question. The Empire Loyalists were people from the United States who disagreed with the breaking away from Britain. Well, at the time there was war with Britain, the American Revolution. George Washington, the President of the United States, was the commander and effectively drove the British Army out of the United States. The British government offered them free land in Canada.
Is there any particular reason why they settled in Prince Edward County?
Well, apart from the fact that it was good land, they usually followed someone like a British officer they served under, who would be given a large grant, and in turn, the others would be given portions of that land.
When was this all happening?
This happened over 200 years ago, 1776 and on from there. So right up until the 1820s, the Loyalists were coming here.
So did the Loyalists end up building houses in this area?
Eventually they did, but when they first got here, they were housed in tents, if they were lucky.
Wow, and for how long?
It varied. Some were in camps for 2 and 3 years. But as soon as they found where their own land was, they would go and start clearing. They'd build a little shanty first, maybe about the size of a bedroom in a normal house. And the whole family would sleep in there.
So can we construct a tent ourselves?
I think that can be arranged.
Home sweet home. The United Empire Loyalists all supported the British during times of war. But just like Canadians today, they were very multicultural. They were made up of French, English, Mohawks, German, African Americans, and Scottish.
Thanks so much, Pete. What we've seen of Prince Edward County so far is beautiful.
Yeah, Eldon's gonna hate it. There's nothing weird, unexplained, or paranormal here.
Or is there?
Well, there's some people believe there's a monster on Lake in the Mountain. Does that count?
Does it have 3 heads? Still no sign of the lake monster.
Wow! According to this, the lake on the mountain sits nearly 62 meters above the Bay of Quinte. When European settlers first arrived, they thought the lake was bottomless.
What are you doing?
Fishing for monsters.
Now the Mohawk, or Ganyankahaga, called this lake Onaganoga, which means Lake of the Spirits. Now every spring, they would come down and offer gifts to the spirits, hoping to ensure a bountiful harvest.
Experts now know that the 250-acre lake isn't bottomless at all. It is actually spring-fed and about 37 meters at its deepest.
What is odd is that the water levels of Lake on the Mountain don't fluctuate with Lake Ontario, which is so close by, but with Lake Erie, which is over 200 kilometers away. Pretty weird, huh?
I'd say that's downright eerie.
That couldn't be
The lake monster! Now that was eerie.
I can show you something even weirder. How about a sand dune that tried to eat a whole entire town?
Okay, I have a few questions. Did a lake monster just try to eat our boat? And did you say a sand dune tried to eat a town? And who are you?
I'm Indigo. And I don't know about a lake monster, but there is a sand dune that tried to eat an entire town. Come on, I'll show you.
It came without warning, attacking everything in its path. You'll never look at sand the same way again. Nothing can stop the dune that ate a town.
Not exactly like that.
Indigo, where are we? This doesn't look anything like a sand dune.
It is a sand dune. This is a good example of how the forest can naturally stabilize the sand dunes.
I get it.
Okay, but what about the town that was buried by the sand dune?
You'd better talk to Casey that way.
Ew! Indigo, what is that?
Hey, that's an antlion pit.
An antlion? Is it an ant or a lion?
Actually, it's neither. It's the larvae of a flying insect.
What does it do?
Ants walk into its sort of pit, and then it comes out and grabs them.
You're kidding.
Does it live in a pride? Does it roar?
No, it doesn't.
Well, that's kind of misleading. Lion.
Hey, look, there's Casey. Let's go meet her.
Great. Hi, guys. When I think of Canada, I don't think of these desert-like conditions. What brought these sand dunes here?
Actually, when a glacier melted a long time ago, it just dropped all of the sand right here at Sandbanks Provincial Park. Since then, the sand's been blowing out of Lake Ontario and forming these sand dunes.
So they're huge though. I mean, I can see sand as far as I can look. So it's just because of the glacier and from the lake?
That's pretty much it, yeah, and the wind does play a very big factor in the formation of the dunes.
And we were in town, and I heard rumors and stories about that this sand dune actually ate and buried an entire town.
Now, that is a little bit of a myth, and that comes from the barley days that happened here at Sandbanks Provincial Park during the American Civil War. And during that time, barley was the #1 crop grown here in Prince Edward County, and the farmers didn't want to waste great cropland on the cows, so they stuck the cows out on the dunes. The vegetation was all eaten and the dunes began to move.
So the cows actually contributed to making this dune bigger because they ate all the grass off of it?
Well, it didn't make it bigger, it made it less stable. So the cows were actually not very good for the dunes because then the vegetation that was holding the dunes in place was gone, and so the dunes began to move. And that's when they were moving quite quickly. Today they aren't moving quite as quickly.
So what is quickly, what does that mean? Like, does that mean like tons and tons of sand per day is like moving closer and closer to the city?
In that time, they were moving probably about 6 to 7 feet a year. So if you think about it, that's pretty significant. Today, they only move about 6 inches a year, if that.
Why did they move more then and not as much now?
Well, that's because the park has a lot of programs in place where they are actually working to stabilize the dunes, such as marram grass planting, and there's been quite a few trees planted in the park as well.
Since the 1920s, Prince Edward County has had an active replanting program to keep the dunes in place. Casey, how do you keep the sand dunes in place?
Well, we've actually got a marram grass planting program in place here in the park. It's been in place for about 10 years, and we plant this plant right here. It's called marram grass. Now, this grass grows very well in hot, dry conditions, and it thrives when the sand is blowing up against it. Did you want to take a look at how we plant it?
Absolutely.
Let's go. Okay, Indigo, you're going to teach us how to stop the invasion of a dune.
Yeah, pretty much. This is marram grass. There you go.
Okay. What's this white thing sticking out the side?
That's a rhizome. It's sort of like a runner, and it goes underneath the ground and connects all the marram grass.
Oh, right on. So it's like almost like a seed of the grass.
Yeah. What you need to do first is dig a hole. It doesn't have to be too deep.
Oh, good.
Stick your marram grass in it and cover it.
And who does the planting of all these plants? Because I see that they're growing all over the sand dune.
Well, we actually have school groups coming in, mostly in the spring and the fall. That's when a lot of the planting happens in the park.
Well, let's get planting some more and stop that dune before it covers another town.
Okay.
It's triviography time.
Today's question, what is saltation?
I'll give you a hint. It's not something you put on French fries.
Saltation? And it's not a greeting.
Saltations, darling. So what does saltation mean?
We'll have the answer for you later in the show.
Casey, it's absolutely beautiful here. Are we still in Sandbanks Provincial Park?
We are still in Sandbanks Provincial Park. This is actually called West Point, and as you can see, it's very different from the sand dunes that we have here in the park. It's very well known for the limestone that we have here, and it's actually a really good place to find fossils. So here we've got some examples of some fossils we found in the park. We've got some trilobites, which are part of an ancient insect that was actually quite a bit larger than what it looks like here. It's never been found in one piece here at Sandbanks. And then we've got gastropods, which as you can see looks very much like a snail that you would find here at Sandbanks, but it's actually quite a bit larger than any one that you would find here today. And then we've got a crinoid, which you can see outlined here in the limestone, and it's also part of a larger prehistoric insect.
And how big is the trilobite? You were saying it's a bigger insect. Well, how big was it?
It's usually probably around this big. They've never actually been found in one piece here in the park.
That's like as big as a turtle.
It's pretty large.
Sandbanks Provincial Park is also home to lots of wildlife, including beavers, Canada geese, muskrats, heron, deer, and red-winged blackbirds.
going to take us to another sand dune.
I did. This is a perfect example of a final stage sand dune.
Final stage sand dune. So what are the other stages?
Well, the first stage is just sand. After that, plants such as marram grass,
Which we planted today.
yeah, can grow because they survive well in sand. Then the marram grass puts nutrition into the sand and the sand dunes, which allows other plants, like small shrubs and small plants, to grow. And eventually you have trees.
Just like here.
Yeah.
That is so cool. Thanks so much for being our kid correspondent. You were awesome today.
Yeah, you did a great job. Hey, and this is a beautiful place, but I have one more question for you.
What's that?
What's that guy doing way over there?
That's Kevin. Wanna go find out what he's doing?
Absolutely.
Let's do it.
Okay. Edie, Sid, this is Kevin.
Oh, wait.
Hey, Kevin, what are you doing?
I'm looking for buried treasure.
With that thing?
Yeah. Legend has it that a long time ago, during the 7 Years' War, the French and English, they were battling over control of Lake Ontario. The French ship is sailing, and it gets ambushed by the British. It sails around Prince Edward County and over to here. They ran the ship aground on the sandy shore, set fire to their ship, and buried the treasure somewhere around this river.
So have you found anything like gold coins, diamond rings?
Quarters, bottle caps, but no treasure.
Well, nothing like a good old-fashioned shovel.
Let's get digging.
Yep.
Oh, hey, Eldon, what's up?
How's that Prince Edward Island County?
It's Prince Edward County, Eldon, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. How about the story, okay? Something weird. Something unexplained. Even something paranormal, okay? I want ratings.
Well, we did see some beautiful sand dunes.
But none that ate a town.
Okay, now I got a lead on something weird in the Bermuda.
Bermuda?
Yeah, that's right, the Bermuda Triangle.
Alden, we're in Prince Edward County, not Bermuda.
I think he means the Marysburg Vortex. It's been compared to the Bermuda Triangle.
Well, whatever, it sounds super weird. So get going and stop whatever you're doing. Hey, what are you doing?
Just digging for buried treasure.
Buried treasure! Why didn't you say so? Get digging!
But wait a minute, don't you want us to investigate the Marysburg Vortex? You know, for the ratings?
You're right. Let me think here for a moment. Hey! Those kids look strong!
Thanks, guys! Good luck!
Yeah, see ya.
Thanks a lot.
It says here that the Marysburg Vortex is legendary. There are crazy tales about ghost ships disappearing in the night.
Alden's gonna love this. Well, here's our boat and here's our guide, Janet.
Hey guys, how you doing? Are you ready to go?
Absolutely! Janet, first things first, are we lost?
No, we're not lost. We know exactly where we are.
And where is that?
We are in the middle of the Marysburg Vortex, which is Canada's version of the Bermuda Triangle. Now, all the old legends around here will tell about ships that have gone missing, that have mysteriously just gone under the water, crews that have disappeared, light planes in more modern times have had strange things happen to them flying over this area. And you know something? Even compasses don't work very well out here because there are a whole lot of magnetic anomalies out here, and the compass readings will be off.
So they call this place like a graveyard for ships.
That's right.
So do you know approximately how many ships are out here?
I think there are getting close to about 100 documented shipwrecks in these waters now. A huge number of them date from the barley days, back in the days when water was the easiest way to get anywhere or to transport anything. There was a huge amount of traffic back and forth across the lake with northern New York. This whole area during prehistoric times was one kind of vast inland lake. And then as the glacier retreated, of course, it left these limestone shelves that the whole county is made of, and also left points of land kind of running out into the lake. And a lot of people don't realize that those points of land continue to run out under the water. And so if a ship were sailing around in these waters, they would have to be really careful with these shoals because you can't always see them. If you get caught in a storm, you might be blown onto them in spite of your best efforts.
Salmon Point is called Wicked Point because of the number of wrecks. The government finally erected a lighthouse there in 1871, and it was operational until 1917. So the most likely cause of all those shipwrecks and accidents are probably shoals.
Probably, yeah, but it's more fun if you start looking at some other more supernatural reasons.
You know what? I think I'll just stick to the shoals. Yeah.
But I'll tell you, strange things still happen. People still see strange lights in the sky, and they see UFOs, and who knows what could happen out here. Because it is, after all, the Marysburg Vortex.
Hear that?
Well, so I guess we should be going then. Wait a second, my watch isn't working.
Time for the triviography answer.
The question was, what does saltation mean?
Saltation is when sand particles move by leaping, jumping, and rolling over one another.
When you have enough sand particles all doing that, it creates a sand dune.
CG Kids is on the World Wide Web. Find out even more about all the incredible places that we visit on CG Kids. Just click on our website to find games, contests, and a lot more fun facts about our amazing country. Check it out.
Prince Edward County is great. I love boat rides.
Especially when you don't have to row the boats yourself.
But we have to break the news to Eldon that there's no three-headed baby monsters.
Well, there is a lake on a mountain.
That's true.
And sand dunes, and shipwrecks.
Which is all good for an episode, just no three-headed baby monsters.
No three-headed baby monsters. Or anything paranormal.